Well, hey there, friends. It's Chris from the Rate the Record podcast. And if you ask me, it's about time we officially close out 2024 for the show. The podcast is already done. And if you tuned in yesterday, because the day before I released this particular video, I did the honorable mention video for all the songs that didn't quite make the top 5, but I still felt needed a shout out for 2024 for the new music review. But this is the big bad boy right here. Top 5 best songs that I've reviewed this year on the NMR. I'm really excited to get into this one. It was really nice to revisit some of these tracks, even though some of them have already been heavy rotation for me all year anyway. We'll get into that in a little bit. But first I want to lay a ground rule for you. As I said, it's the songs that I've personally reviewed on the NMR. So that means there are a lot of new songs that came out this year that I didn't quite get around to, that I wasn't able to review for one reason or another. So there's a lot that's probably missing. Maybe even your favorite could be missing. It's not that I didn't like it, or maybe I didn't like it. I don't know. It just depends on the songs that we're talking about here. But again, it's only what I reviewed in 2024, so it's going to be kind of a very limited bias type of list, but I digress. I think we should actually just get into this, because I'm excited to talk about these songs. Scooting over here only means one thing, that I'm going to remind you that if you like what you see and or hear today, make sure you're hitting like and subscribe. Those two things really do help the channel, make me feel good, and it's the holiday season when I'm recording this, so if you want to give me a nice free gift, that is exactly what you could do. Like, subscribe, and all that kind of cool stuff. Without further ado, let's actually start. So kicking off the list at number 5 for the year 2024 is the band Nothing But Thieves with the song Oh No, He Said What? Energetic, dancey, exciting, pulse pounding. I mean, like, just really overall, this is a really good track. There's fantastic production. It's super clean and crisp and everything like that. And considering like the poppy, dancey sound it's going for, I think it works really well in its favor. And the vocals are super fun and on point too. So there's just like not really a downside to this. It's a super well-crafted song too. Like, there's never a dull moment, and it always feels like that there's something going on in the song that's going to keep you captivated. So it's like good stuff all around. Definitely a treasure to find. And as much as I was going through a bunch of other songs that could have been number 5 on this list, this had to be the one, because when I went back to it, it was just as exciting, if not more so, than the first time I heard it. So yes, number 5 definitely has to go to Nothing But Thieves. Still not quite on the top 3 podium, but at least at number 4 for best song of the year in my books is Spiritbox with Soft Spine. I mean, like, this one's just a really heavy hitter, just like an absolutely hard and intense like package of riffage all over the place, and the chorus is just an absolutely fantastic chant along as well. There's so much to enjoy about this one. I know Spiritbox is technically a younger band right now, like they haven't been around all of that long, but even with the short amount of time, it feels like no one in the band has lost a step at all. If anything, it only feels like the momentum of this band is going to like reach a fever pitch before too long. It's gonna be momentous for this band. And as compared to some of their older stuff too, like with a single like this, it feels like they're really stepping up their game for their upcoming album. And by the point of me recording this, it's not out yet. It's called Tsunami Sea. I can't remember when it's supposed to come out, but that's the next upcoming one. And so singles like this and how great and intense it is, and then their other single Perfect Soul that came out that I actually had planned on reviewing, just couldn't get around to it. I didn't really have time. I think it's really showing that Spiritbox are about to have an absolutely bright 2025, so I'd say keep your eyes and ears on the prize, because it's only going to get better from here. Soft Spine's a fantastic song, number 4 on my list. Now we're talking podium numbers here. We're talking medals at this point. Bronze medal, top 3 now. Bronze medal, 3rd place, has to go to Julie Christmas with Thin Skin. This is also a callback to the very first review I did for season 6 this past year in July, where I did her brand new album, Ridiculous and Full of Blood. There was a few singles that came up for this one. They were all pretty good, but Thin Skin really stood out to me. I mean, like, what an absolute ass kicker of a song, from like the explosive like 7/8 opening to the intense and headbanging verses to the absolute barn burner of a chorus. I mean, this song does so much to pummel you relentlessly in its less than 3-minute runtime. So I had mentioned that I did this album as a review at the beginning of season 6, and I can tell you right now, it was quite a treat. If you want to know more, go watch the review, but like, this album was really, really good. But I think it's definitely songs like this that really helped bring the album to the forefront of relevant and interesting metal that we got this year. I mean, again, the album could be full of it, but this one just, I don't know, this one hit a lot harder. Absolutely solid. You definitely need to check this out if you missed it. Go watch the review, go listen to the album, make sure you're listening to Thin Skin too. Fantastic single. and at the very least, that's why I had to give it the bronze medal for the top 5 of the year. We are at the silver medal now, 2nd place for 2024, and we gotta be talking about Kittie and the song Vultures. Now, if you've watched the honorable mentions video that I did previously, We Are Shadows by Kittie came up on that list. And you'll also know that if you watched the review I did back, I think in episode 103 for season 6, that We Are Shadows actually came number 1 in that video. Spoiler alert, I guess if you haven't seen it, but go still watch the review. Thank you very much. But I've said it then, and I've said it up to this point now, that Vultures, I think, should have been the true number 1. I think I made a mistake. I can't go back and change it now, but that's why I had to do my due diligence here. I had to give it this justice and bring Kittie somewhere on this list, and it's definitely a silver medal. The overall pacing and structure in this song is so awesome, and I think having it in 6/8 time really kind of made it stand out and feel different from what else we got on the album. It's heavy, it's ass-kicking. I mean, like, this is Kittie, like, way back on top of their game and then some at this point. Like, this album was a game changer for them. If they do decide to release another album in the future, I think they'll find themselves in a good place with the momentum that the album Fire actually helped them carry, and then singles like this that really did like so well for it. I know that Vultures technically wasn't one of the bigger singles from the album, but it was definitely my favorite, one of my favorite songs in the album, period. And that's why, at the very least, close enough to gold medal, but silver, you know what, there's nothing to complain about there. 2nd place for my top 5 for 2024. There we go. But now we are talking about number 1, the gold medal, top of the podium. Who does it go to? Well, it was definitely the band that had the top song on my Spotify Wrap this year, and a single I loved when it came out, and I think it maybe even came number 1 on the list when I reviewed this album. But we are talking about Idols with Gift Horse. I mean, this one is so much fun from front to back. It's simple, but it's super well crafted to just like heighten the excitement as it goes. Like, this is just like strategically written, like almost pop rock music. I don't want to call it pop rock, but I mean, you know what I mean. It's quite poppy and dancey. The building that each verse and bridge does to a powerful and satisfying chorus is absolutely everything. It's just the best payoff every single time. That chorus is so intense, so heavy, very, very catchy, just in your face. What's there not to love about it? But yeah, supremely catchy, supremely danceable are the biggest ways I can describe the song very, very quickly. And there's like noisy little layers sprinkled in too if you're like listening close enough on multiple listens. I think it just gives the track so much more to take in, so much more to enjoy, a lot of texture just everywhere that just audibly is so pleasing. So I don't see how any other song, as much as I love the other ones on this list, I don't see how Gift Horse could have been anything less than number 1. And with that said, I am now done with the NMR for 2024. The honorable mentions are done, and now the top 5 is completely out there in the open. So thank you very much for joining me, hanging out, and maybe even checking out these songs, listening to this music. And if you did listen to these songs, you gotta let me know down in the comments below of what you thought about these songs. Did you love them? Did you hate them? How would you rank these songs? Do you agree or disagree with me? What about your top 5 specifically? It doesn't have to look like mine. What are your top 5 favorite songs of the year? There's a lot of great music that came out this year, so chances are yours could look incredibly different. I'm very curious to see it. All that and more down in the comments below. If you would do that, please and thank you. But you could also check out ratetherecord.ca. That is ratetherecord.ca. You can also let me know over there as well, because there's streaming links, social media links, and social media links being the big one to let me know your opinions. I'm pretty sure there's like an email link in there too. I mean, if you still do email, you can do that, I guess. The RTR Club, and of course, if you want to check out where all the albums rank in the podcast right now, the RTR podcast chart is there, so that way you can just like see all the stats and be kind of happy with that kind of stuff. But yes, that is ratetherecord.ca. But yeah, that's the end of the year now for Rate the Record. The podcast has been over for a little bit, coming back in February. The NMRs are completely wrapped up. I'm probably going to continue them again sometime in January, maybe around a halfway point. I haven't decided yet, but give it a couple weeks. I'll bring back the NMR. A new ILTS video is due out soon-ish. The I Love the Song series, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, it's because it's been quite a while since I've done the last one. I digress. There should be one of those coming out real soon. I'm excited to do those. I love doing those videos. A lot of production and work goes into it, so it's nice when they're finally out. It feels very rewarding. But yeah, other than that, I'm just going to go ahead and enjoy my time off the podcast a little bit. We're about to go into 2025, so I hope that you all remain safe out there. Happy holidays. If you're watching this long beyond the holidays, then this means absolutely nothing, but I hope you're safe and happy anyways. So until I see you again, go listen to some awesome music, and I'll see you on the other side of the calendar. Take care, friends.